So that is my daily routine. Hi YouTube, welcome back to my channel. Thank you so much for watching. And in today's video, I'm gonna take you through my daily glam, my daily hair and makeup routine. This was requested by a few of you, so I have everything ready to go. And then my birthday is coming up in a few days. So I made a list of things that I would like to share with you that I have learned along the way, things that I would tell younger Ariel, that I would tell any young woman. I just want to pass along some of those words of wisdom. So there's no real theme. It's just, I have a list, we have the makeup, and we're just here sharing the time together. We're gonna start with skin prep. I have nothing on my skin. I just took a shower. Hair is combed and ready to dry. Don't worry about the hair. We're gonna fix it all at the end, okay? We are starting off with this Good Molecules hyaluronic acid boosting essence. And I wanted an essence. I knew this was gonna be like a step in my skincare. I just put it on my hands, by the way. And then they sent me some for PR and I love it. Typically, I do this right after the shower or right after I wash my face when my face is still a little damp. So it's like adding dampness to it. Right now, since it's winter time, we are doing even more hyaluronic acid and we're just gonna put a little bit on top, okay? Just a little bit on top. Okay, I have this mirror over here too. Let's let that absorb a little bit. What do I want to start with for our lesson? I think I want to start with this. And then this is my favorite moisturizer ever. I have sensitive skin, so I cannot do products with a lot of fragrance. This Vanicream is so gentle. It will never irritate your skin, you know? And I don't even know if this is how I apply it, but I'm just self-conscious now that I'm on camera. So I'm like trying to press it in, but normally I just, you know what I mean? I just put it on like everybody else does. I don't know, we're gonna see how this goes. But anyway, in my years that I've been on this earth as a woman, dealing with judgment, shame, critique, praise, whatever, both ends of the spectrum when it comes to your appearance as a woman, okay? Here's what I have learned. Never take beauty or aging advice from someone who doesn't understand biology, okay? We are living things, no matter what type of intellectual experience you're having, what type of spiritual experience you're having, what type of cultural or materialistic experience you're having, we are all having a biological experience. And I have never seen a blue jay stop living its life because it didn't have red feathers like a robin, or vice versa. In nature, you do not see shame towards living things. That emotion is something that we use as humans to put each other down, to control, to, you know what I mean? Just to have that really negative energy. Life is beautiful and life is natural. If you are here and living life, live it with blue feathers, live it with red feathers, brown feathers, big leaves on your tree, small leaves on your tree, giant flowers, big red roses, petite little daisies. It doesn't. Okay, it doesn't matter. We're all here to live our lives. There's really no room for shame about any of it. We got to continue with this process, otherwise we're going to be here forever. This is the best sunscreen in the world. EltaMD, I love you. I love you forever. This is one of my favorite products ever on this earth. It is so silky. Okay, one of the things that I've heard, and yeah, we're doing it today. One of the things that I've heard is that the best sunscreen is the one that you wear, okay? That is the best sunscreen that you could have, is the one that you actually wear, the one that you want to put on. And so the reason why I love EltaMD so much, not only is it extremely effective and it's recommended to post-surgical patients, it's gonna block what it needs to block, but it's also luxurious. It doesn't break me out. It doesn't clog my skin. It doesn't irritate me in any way, shape, or form. It just feels like a really nice lotion. Back to our conversation. We're gonna let that sit before we really get into it. People who lack the ability to respect life and respect the cycles of life and respect the diversity of life, I don't want to hear your opinions on beauty or aging. And that discounts a lot of people. That's one of the lessons. If that could be talked about more and conditioned into women's psyches earlier, I think that would really help. Okay, next up, we are doing brows. And for a long time, I couldn't figure out what I wanted to do with my brows, because they're so light. But I found that embracing just their natural color and then just giving them a little bit more shape with the brow gel is actually what I needed. There's always one that doesn't want to cooperate like the other one. I do my makeup all the time, and suddenly, now that I'm recording myself, I can't do it. You know what? Moving on. This is my favorite everyday foundation because it is so light and it looks like you're not wearing anything. So I'm gonna take some, and I always put it on the back of my hand if I'm doing a serious makeup application. But again, this is just my daily makeup. I'm gonna take my Melanie Mills brush and just get some of the product in there on the back of my hand. And then I always start at the inner corner and I just start applying and going out. And it's so light that even if I don't get it, 100% across every spot, you won't notice because it'll just blend in. This really does look like skin. It's more like a skin tint, which is perfect for every day. So I don't do a whole lot on the forehead, especially again, if this is just my everyday makeup, because I'm not going for full foundation type of thing. Now we take our sponge, it's already damp, and I'm just pressing and rolling with the sponge to make sure that everything is blended. I can see that I have just a few little red spots, so we're gonna go back with a little concealer and just target in on those spots. But the next thing I was gonna say, which relates to never taking beauty or aging advice from people who don't respect life, don't respect biology, is one of the best things that you can do for yourself is develop your inner authority. You have to become the authority on you, your life, your goals, your values, your belief system, and especially as you get into adulthood, as you get further in your womanhood, developing your inner authority is part of what makes you highly feminine, highly magnetic, highly powerful, because you are not as influenced by other people's incorrect whatever, right? For example, why would I feel negatively about getting older when it's something natural and it's something that we're all doing? Your inner voice, your inner authority needs to be stronger than a lot of the noise that's around you. And that takes work, that takes time. We are doing the e.l.f. Camo Concealer. This isn't the best color for me, honestly, but that's what I have. I'm just finding the little spots that have a touch of redness. This little spot right here is actually a birthmark, so we're gonna leave her alone. She's never really bothered me, so we're just gonna let her vibe. And then I'm just using my finger to get it started with the blending. And then we're gonna go back over with the sponge. I am not a professional at this by any means, okay? I am a confident beginner and I've been learning more and practicing more as I go. Okay, next step. This is one of my favorite new products. It's a contour stick from Westman Atelier. I feel very fancy. I had watched another YouTube about low contrast makeup because as I get further into my style journey, etc., I realize how important it is for things to be complementary to you. So because I am more low contrast, it's always been hard for me to find a contour stick that has the right undertones. I got the little mini one so I could try it out. Yes. I'm putting a little bit on the back of my hand and then I've already taken some of that and I put it on this, again, Melanie Mills fluffy brush. And we're just gonna go into kind of the crease. And this is very subtle. But one of the things that I find frustrating about being low contrast, in my regular life, I love it. But when it comes to being on camera, when it comes to taking pictures, I can look really flat. The contour stick just really helps me not feel so flat and worm-like, if that makes sense. Like, it is so subtle. You probably can't even, I doubt you can see it on camera, but it just, that's what I love about makeup though, is that you actually don't need to do a whole lot to do a whole lot. I know how that sounds, but simplicity is always elegance, and elegance is simplicity. Developing your inner authority, we talked about that, and that simply means, you know, the way that you speak to yourself and the inner dialogue that you have needs to be very self-affirming, very self-validating, self-assuring, and self-reliant, because you have to realize, you know, this is something I wish people would have told me. A lot of people are unhealed. You know, just because people have a certain title or they earn a certain amount of money or they have a certain role in your life, it doesn't mean that they have all the answers. So that's what I was saying before, like authority figures, sure, you know, but you also have to be your own authority, because sometimes they're wrong and you need to step in and be that source for yourself. Because I already have the contour stick, we're gonna go ahead and we're gonna do some on the cheeks. And like I said, this is for every day. I'm gonna do another little application, and now I'm using my Morphe M405 brush. Like, I really know what that means. I'm just gonna pick this up and we're just gonna go very light in that little hollow. I can see it picking up, but again, you might not be able to see it. This is so we don't stay so flat, just in that hollow. The next thing related to inner authority, this is a lesson I really would love for you to hear and internalize. There's nothing wrong with you. Now, I say that because I was someone who was encouraged to pathologize myself when I was going through some difficult times. And I've talked about it on this channel. There's only so much I can say because it is a very delicate topic, but just think food, body, self-image, young girl, early 2000s, almond mom, you know what I mean? It's something a lot of us go through, okay? A lot of us go through. And so I unfortunately ended up in worst case scenario. And what I want to say from that experience, and this is not a feel sorry for me share, this is a victory experience. A lesson I want to share with you, again, now that I'm older, is that there's nothing wrong with you. Being accountable doesn't mean that you have to pathologize yourself. So take accountability for the ways that you are mistreating yourself, for the self-education that you need to provide for yourself, whatever improvements you need to make. Like, yes, there's that part, but young women are so often encouraged to pathologize themselves and label themselves as being a certain way, and I just do not agree with that. I do not agree with that. The reason why I was able to heal and get to where I am now is because I rejected that and I stopped doing that. And I developed my inner authority around I'm healthy, there's nothing wrong with me. Did I have things to change? Of course. I took responsibility, I took accountability, but I didn't pathologize myself. And I don't recommend that anybody does. Look at the environment, look at the circumstances, look at everything before you turn around and label yourself permanently. I'm going back to the way I was doing my eyeliner, which everyone loves. Since I don't have my favorite pencil eyeliner, I'm going to use my eyeshadow, and let me show you how I do it. So we need some water. We need a little angled brush. This is a palette that I got from FabFitFun. Remember them? And this is what I use for my eyeshadow, and everybody loves it. These are actually great eyeshadows. So you're gonna dip your brush in the water and then just on the sides, you know, get rid of the excess. So everybody loves when I do Earth because it's such a nice color, but we're gonna go with Retreat because it's more neutral. Earth has some redness to it. We're just gonna get a little bit of pigment on there. It's a little bit wet, and then we use this to draw. So let me concentrate here, and I haven't done this in a while, so hopefully, yes. So I just kind of start towards the center and work my way out. Then we're gonna like just soften that end with a Q-tip in a moment. Okay, so I go back in the water. And then when I do this with this particular eyeshadow, it does not really move. I mean, obviously, if I start washing my face, it'll come off, but it doesn't really smudge or move around when I do it this way. The reason I like this method, it's a powder, not like a felt or anything else. It's an actual powder, so it just has a different look to it, which I really enjoy. And every time I do this, I always get compliments on my eyeliner. This is my #1 beauty tool, by the way, a Q-tip. And I'm just gonna go underneath and I'm just gonna thin and blend that out so it's not so sharp. We're gonna use this Urban Decay brush. It might not be the best, but it's what I have. And then this MAC is Shroom, and it's satin, and it's like the perfect shimmer. I just get a little bit on, and then my goal is to like have a little shimmer on the inside that like blends to the outside. But again, because the eyeliner is a little warmer and this is more of a silver, it's not like it's not perfect, but it's fine. Let's do the other side. There's another shade in MAC that I think is a little more champagne-y. I just haven't gotten it yet. For mascara, this is the one I currently have. It is a nice, affordable brown mascara, so that's what we're gonna do. I don't curl my lashes because I have a little bit of a natural curl, and I feel like they just always look better when I don't curl them. I don't know, is it possible that there's some of us that don't look good with curled lashes? Like it was better the way it was before? It was more natural? Oh my gosh, my posture, no! It's because I have this little mirror over here. Just forgive me on the posture right now. And like I said, now that I'm recording myself, it's like I've never put on mascara before. But I have. What was next? Oh, here's a message I would also like everyone to receive and embody, and it will help you get rid of desperation. You're already chosen, so you don't need to be chosen a second time or a third time, fourth time, fifth time, whatever. And again, this goes back to our conversation around respecting life and understanding biology and, you know, understanding your biological experience. Like, I'm already here, okay? I'm here and I'm living. In my mind, that means I'm already chosen in a way. However you want to phrase that in spiritual terms, religious terms, I don't care. I'm already here. Therefore, I don't need anybody to give me permission to continue being here, to continue taking up space and living my life. I don't need a partner to, you know what I mean, choose me and give me that kind of validation, a boss, whatever, an amount of money. You know what I mean? I'm already here. What do you mean? I just don't get it. I don't get it. You can't scam me with that, okay? I'm not participating. And again, this kind of centeredness comes from truly loving yourself. And in my opinion, going back to the basics, going back to nature, looking around and taking your lessons from there, not taking it from unhealed, power-hungry, unhealthy people. Why would I listen to them? Just saying. Okay, eyes are done. Next up is a product that I just got. I love this blush. So this is the Vision Flush from Danessa Myricks. I got it from the Makeup Altar. Miss Melanie recommended it for me, and I'm so glad I waited and I shopped with her because this is perfect. It is getting a little messy in the packaging, but we love her, so we're just gonna use her delicately. All right, so this is really all I need, and this might even be too much. But I put it on the back of my hand. I'm taking this buffing foundation brush because that's what we have. Then we're gonna go more like a highlighter placement. It looks like I have nothing on, especially if I just put it on bare skin and it's completely natural. So Danessa, I see you. I mean, I was aware, of course I've heard and I've seen, but now that I'm experiencing it for myself, very nice work. Then we're just kind of, and again, the lights are so bright, what I'm doing might not even be showing up. Now we're gonna add a little bronzer. This one's from e.l.f., e.l.f. on a Shelf. what else was I gonna say? One of my favorite lessons that I actually wrote down first, something I wish all of us would do collectively, skip the alcohol. Especially if you're younger, just skip it. You don't need that phase in your life. Nothing good comes from alcohol. I've never seen it happen in all my years of living. I've seen the not so glamorous side of it. And as somebody who used to go out and whatever, like, it's just, you don't need it. Just don't do it. It's not worth it. I would skip it and I would start a business on your phone and make money with that extra time and energy. That's what I would do. This is an old Urban Decay brush. And again, it might not be the best, but it's what I have. For daily, instead of doing contour around my forehead, I'm just gonna use a little bit of this bronzer. And I try to get it into the hairline so it doesn't look strange. But I am so light-handed with these products that you probably wouldn't know. That's the whole idea, is that, oh, she just looks really nice. Is she wearing makeup? And then I'm just taking any extra and, you know, kind of going where that contour was. These are really fun until this happens. Perfect, thank you. I just lost some hair. So back on my anti-alcohol rant, we know that it's poison. We know that no amount is actually really healthy. I'm so glad that research is proving what a lot of us already discerned and could determine just through powers of observation. I just feel like you don't need it. It's not healthy. It dehydrates you. It ages you. It disrupts your sleep. Some people call it ugly juice, which I agree with. And if I could go back in time, I would just skip that whole thing. And like I said, start a business, make money off my phone. We're finishing with a little bit of powder. This is an Urban Decay powder that I got many, many years ago that I am not even halfway through. I just use my little applicator, don't judge her. And we're gonna go right under the eye. I do have one of those fancy triangles, but we don't need to go to that level today. Then I'm gonna go right under the nose, right in this little chin area, and then right here. Like for every day, I find that this placement is all that I need. Now we go back to our beauty blender and I'm just, you know what I mean? And again, I don't know if this is wrong or right, but that's just the way that I do it. Oh yeah, lips. I definitely need to find a new lipstick and I need it in the exact shade of this blush. For now, we're just gonna use this lifter gloss, which I think is amazing. It's not sticky, which is perfect. It actually feels really, really nice. Yes, okay, perfect. That is the daily makeup application. We're not just gonna leave it there. I'm gonna take these out and I'm gonna show you how I do my hair every day as well. We're gonna finish the whole look. So I'm gonna go check this in the regular mirror and set up for my hair. Okay, so we're back. Hair is all the way dry. I just use a little round brush at the front for my bangs. I'm gonna show you something very special. This is my hair steamer. Okay, I've had this over 10 years, so please do not judge her or the rollers that I'm about to use, okay, because she's mature. I got this because I used to hot roll my hair when I was a go-go dancer, but my hair is so fine, it really cannot tolerate hot tools like that. So I did some research and I found out about the hair steamer. It comes with these foam rollers in different sizes and it is so much more gentle on your hair. So this is what I use to get any curls or any body in my hair. I'm gonna put these in, but I'm not gonna talk because it makes a clicking noise to create the steam and it's really kind of annoying. So watch the montage. There might be some steam still going, but we're gonna let those sit and we're gonna go over some of these last few things. Then we'll take them out, we'll change, we'll finish the look. Another lesson for you ladies. Never accept underpayment or somebody undervaluing your talent, your time, your energy, your gifts, your experience, your expertise. You don't have to audition for anything. You don't have to prove yourself. What separates this from entitlement is that you've actually done the work to hone that gift, that talent, gain that experience, whatever it is. So like you are who you say you are in that category. And once you become that, do not let people take advantage of you, and don't apologize for it, period, point blank. That is a them problem. That is a budget problem for them. It is not your responsibility. Again, inner authority. All right, I'm gonna get changed while we let this sit a little more, and then I'll be back. Wait, can I stand up? I think I can. So this is our look. These are the boots. I just got this snake wrap dress at the Goodwill. We're gonna take these out. We could have left them in longer, but I have other things to do, so. All right, so you just take the roller out like this and see what it does? That's just steam. So you're not putting hot metal on your hair. It's still heat, but it's not hot metal directly on. So it's much, much more gentle. And I'm sure there's a special way to do these rollers, like a special pattern. Again, this is my everyday routine, so we're just keeping it simple. They just roll right off. All right, let's get to the back here and attach and just roll off. Easy, so easy and not damaging. I can use these every day and I do not have an issue. All right, see, I am out of hairspray right now, but that is the last thing that I would do. Sorry about this chair. Here we are, here's the look. All right, so that is my daily routine. I always have respect for beauty creators, but just trying this today, I have even more respect. This is a talent. This is a real skill set. And that was the last lesson I had on here. Dress better, learn how to do your hair and makeup, fashion, styling, glam. This is a world of skill and artistry. So everyone gets a chance to learn. And there's a technique to everything. Technique supports expression. Remember, we talk about that a lot in my movement training, because to get to the next level, to get to the levels that you desire, that I desire, it requires mastery of the technique. Don't underestimate it. Image is power, style is power, and once you can detach from the insecurities, any shame, any negative conditioning around it, you are free to explore from a place of empowerment, which makes it so much more fun. Thank you for joining me in this video. I will link everything that I can link in the description box below in terms of the products that I used. And before you go, be sure to give this video a thumbs up, hit that subscribe button so you never miss an upload, and I will see you in the next one. Bye.